Shang Tsung is a name that should be familiar to people who have been around Mortal Kombat since the earliest days, as he was the final boss of the first Mortal Kombat game. In later games, Shang Tsung's name isn't always one held with the same degree of prominence, as the more prominent villains tend to be Shao Kahn and even Shinnok. But what is there to know about the first final boss of the Mortal Kombat franchise? We'll explore with the full story of Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung doesn't always keep the same appearance whenever he is seen. In fact, his outfits tend to vary wildly throughout each game. In some games he appears relatively youthful, but more often he tends to take the appearance of an older man. Shang Tsung is an evil sorcerer who has the notable ability of assuming the likeness of other characters. While he is often allied with Shao Kahn, Shang Tsung is not at all above pursuing his own ambitions. Shang Tsung grows powerful by consuming souls, but also needs them to stay alive, else he will age to death. Before continuing, it must be noted that there are two continuities within Mortal Kombat, the Midway continuity and the NetherRealm continuity. The Midway continuity is comprised of titles developed by Midway Games, the original developers of the Mortal Kombat franchise. The NetherRealm continuity is comprised of games developed by NetherRealm Studios, the current developers of the franchise, starting with Mortal Kombat 2011. Starting with the Midway continuity, Shang Tsung is seen as the first major antagonist of the franchise, as he is the final boss of the first Mortal Kombat. Prior to this, Shang Tsung was at one time a combatant in a Mortal Kombat tournament many years before the first Mortal Kombat game, but he cheated there. He would also encounter the evil Shao Kahn, seeking an ally to help him conquer Earthrealm and Outworld, and to subjugate all realms. Shang Tsung was later the victor of a Mortal Kombat tournament until an Earthrealm champion named the Great Kung Lao defeated Shang Tsung, but Shang Tsung would rectify this by training Goro, a warrior of the Shao Kahn race, to be a champion on behalf of Outworld. Thus began a winning streak for Outworld that would continue until the first Mortal Kombat game, to be held on an island belonging to Shang Tsung. During this favorable time before the first tournament, he was able to form an alliance with fellow evil sorcerer Quan Chi to blind the warrior Qin Shi by leading him to retrieve a sword that would unleash many souls for Shang Tsung's consumption, and to fight Shujinko to decide whether or not he would be allowed to participate in the upcoming tournament, though Shujinko would eventually decline despite the fight ending in a draw. As for the tournament described in the first Mortal Kombat game itself, the Outworld champion Goro was defeated by Liu Kang of Earthrealm, and Liu Kang himself would go on to defeat Shang Tsung, leading to the collapse of Shang Tsung's island. Shang Tsung fled to Shao Kahn asking for power and proposing a new Mortal Kombat tournament. Shao Kahn assented, and this would lead to Mortal Kombat 2, wherein Shang Tsung is a playable character. Shang Tsung would again lose to Liu Kang here, but the real purpose of this tournament was to serve as a diversion for the revival of the dead Queen Sindel, whose resurrection in Earthrealm would allow Shao Kahn to cross over into Earthrealm and steal souls. Her revival was completed thanks to Shang Tsung's efforts and the assistance of Quan Chi and Shinnok. This is the backdrop for Mortal Kombat 3, and Shang Tsung would lose to Liu Kang for a third time, leading to Tsung's brief imprisonment for his losses. After being freed, Shang Tsung and Quan Chi would discuss the revival of the army of the evil Dragon King Onaga, for which Quan Chi required Shang Tsung's assistance. This leads into Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, the fifth game in the series. The two plotted to kill Shao Kahn and Liu Kang and succeeded, though only later would it be revealed that the Shao Kahn killed was a clone. The alliance was uneasy, as Shang Tsung did not fully trust Quan Chi and had his own ambitions. After successfully defeating the heroes of Earthrealm, some of who would perish against their combined forces, the two sorcerers turned on each other, with Quan Chi eventually winning. But after this, the resurrected Onaga would appear, and Raiden, Shang Tsung, and Quan Chi would try to stop him, knowing the threat that he represented. The might of all three would not be able to stop Onaga, and Shang Tsung eventually died in the fight. Shao Kahn would assist in reviving Shang Tsung by giving him a host body, as he had already pledged his soul to Shao Kahn dating back to their first encounter. Shang Tsung would then help Shao Kahn in taking back Outworld, ruled by Mileena in Kahn's absence. However, Shang Tsung also learns of the power of Blaze from Quan Chi, and that the person who acquired it would possess power that is basically uncontestable, appealing to him as he wants both power and independence. These machinations are the foundation for the last game in the continuity, Mortal Kombat Armageddon. Shang Tsung fights with the forces of darkness at the Battle of Armageddon, but is one of the last to be slain by his recurring nemesis Liu Kang's zombified form. While this turn of events is not favorable for Shang Tsung, nevertheless the defeat of the heroes is something that series hero Raiden seeks to overturn. He takes the information gleaned from this continuity and sends it to a past self, and this is the foundation for the NetherRealm continuity, starting with Mortal Kombat 2011. This game takes place chronologically at the start of the first Mortal Kombat tournament, but with different results. Shang Tsung is again the final boss and officiator of the first Mortal Kombat in the story mode for Mortal Kombat 2011. At times, after fights are concluded, he instructs the victor to kill their opponent, which would benefit Shang Tsung as he would acquire the dead person's soul. But this doesn't always come to pass. He does eventually confront Liu Kang in the story mode and loses to him in this timeline as well. Shang Tsung's failures draw Shao Kahn's ire, but Shang Tsung pleads for more power and suggests holding another Mortal Kombat tournament. Shang Tsung directs an invasion of Outworld forces against the Wuxi Academy, wherein Liu Kang's victory ceremony is being held, in a bid to make Raiden and the heroes agree to the tournament. Raiden doesn't comply at first, but eventually decides to participate. It is later revealed by Shang Tsung to Kitana that Tsung is perfecting Kitana by creating copies of her, Melina being one such example. This itself is a demonstration of his power and wickedness, to which Shao Kahn is already privy and happy about. Shang Tsung eventually teams with Quan Chi to defeat Kung Lao, and the team loses, which would then lead to a showdown between Liu Kang and Shao Kahn that ostensibly leads to Shao Kahn's death. Shang Tsung would lobby for himself to be Emperor of Outworld in his absence, until it was revealed that Shao Kahn has been restored. Shao Kahn at this point has lost patience with his failure to conquer Earthrealm and attributes the losses to Shang Tsung. This to the point that when Shao Kahn eventually does have Sindel revived, he drains souls from Shang Tsung to enhance her power and kills Shang Tsung by doing so. This concludes Shang Tsung's involvement in Mortal Kombat 2011, and he does not appear as a playable character in the next game, Mortal Kombat 10. Shang Tsung is dead and would seem to show no sign of revival since then. However, he is seen several times in Mortal Kombat 10 in accordance with other characters' endings, the canon status of which is still unknown. Shang Tsung, if those endings hold, steals souls from Ermac in order to revive himself, and slows Aaron Black's aging in exchange for Black assassinating an Earthrealm fighter in a meeting way before Mortal Kombat 10 began. The story mode for Mortal Kombat 11 deals with time travel and past selves confronting their current selves. Shang Tsung has the need for drama or redemption in his character, as the entire point of the character is to be selfishly conniving. And that concludes our video on the full story of Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung is a classic scheming villain. He seeks power and he is only looking out for himself. When you see how selfish he can be, you wonder how the villains can trust each other to begin with. But it must be remembered that their alliances are tenuous and founded on the idea that each can betray each other outside of the disclosed pursuit of material self-interest. Shang Tsung's pledging allegiance to Shao Kahn may very well have cemented his fate, coupled with his need for souls in order to survive due to cheating in a Mortal Kombat tournament, rendering his power and constitution always vulnerable. The irony in someone with a unique power being perennially weak, but his power and weakness are connected. The ambition that he seeks will likely be forever out of his reach. Tell us what you think of Shang Tsung in the comments section below. And that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed what you watched and want to see more from GamingBolt, you can always hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon next to it. That way you will never miss any of our videos.